Attend, learn, and earn. America's largest RV show, Education Days, offers specialized training for RV technicians. Electrical, HVAC, weight and tire safety, and more. There's something for every industry professional. Plus, meet the crowds and tour 1,500 RVs on Industry Preview Day, September 15th. Don't miss out on America's largest RV show, Education Days, September 14th and 15th. Registration opens this June at largestrvshow.com.
Everyone, welcome to this edition of the SupplySide podcast. I'm Chris Saedo. Joining me from RVBusiness is Michael Reinheimer, and our guests today are from Vision Management Group. We have Amy Ritter, who is the National RV Director, and we have Kim Gregory, who is the Business Development Director. Ladies, welcome to the SupplySide podcast.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep, thank you. Happy to be here.
Great to have you.
Definitely. Now, ladies, I want to start off by asking, what is Vision Management Group and what gap did you see in the RV industry that your team fills?
So I'll take that one, and Amy can pipe in after I'm done, but I really see Vision Management Group as we're a boutique style agency. We take a very holistic approach to the RV dealership. So traditional models, a dealer principal is going to go hire a company to come in, an agency to come in to do their fixed operations. They're going to hire a company to come in and do their sales training. And then they're going to hire a company to come in and bring product into their finance and insurance department. So you have three companies all working in a silo, all just focused on their part of the business. Mm-hmm. And what that typically does is it makes the company actually lose profit because we're not working together. It has a tendency to have lower CSI scores. And then it can also create a friction between internal employees and internal departments. So what our founder, Tony Fiorillo, found a solution for it. He went out and he decided, I'm going to get experts in every one of those fields. I'm going to have experts in the finance office, the sales, and in fixed operations. I'm going to bring it under one roof. I'm also going to bring in some leadership training to pull it all together so that the teams are rowing in the same direction and accomplishing goals together. And then what does that create? Increased profit, happy customers, great CSI scores, and then really happy employees. So you keep your retention. And that's really the founding of what Vision does in the RV dealerships.
Very cool.
Amy?
Well, oh, go ahead, Amy.
I was just going to say our mantra at Vision Management Group is we're all in the same boat, rowing in the same direction. And all of the things that Kim talked about and from what Tony has brought into our company and what we bring to the dealers, we get everybody in the dealership rowing in the same direction, right? So many times when you go into an RV dealership, there's some friction between the sales department and the service department, between variable and fixed ops. And by getting everybody on board, and really the overdrive piece is the piece that brings it all together, getting everybody rowing in the same direction, understanding what the common goals of the dealership are, and everybody working towards those goals.
Very cool. Well, I mean, that sounds fantastic because there's so many different aspects to an RV dealership. And to have everybody working on the same page sounds ideal. What does it look like when a dealership partners with Vision Management? What does that first 90 days to a quarter look like when they come on board with you guys?
That's my favorite part to talk about. Vision, yeah. we have what we call our vision wheel. So it's a 7-step process that we take when we start working with an RV dealership. So first we want to establish a relationship, right? To be able to get everybody on the same page, they have to trust you. They have to have a relationship with you. They have to believe in what you're bringing to the table. So we establish that. And then we come and we do an evaluation. We call it an analysis. So our whole team comes in, experts in every one of those departments we talked about earlier. We come in, we analyze each department, we put together a complete findings, and then the next day we meet with the leadership team and we tell them what we found. We say, And really, that's to see if vision is going to be a good fit for their dealership, right? These are the things we found. This is where we think we can make a difference, and this is where we think we can help you. And then
Yeah.
if everybody's on board for that, we design a plan and we create that. We bring in products, we bring in training, we set goals and KPIs, and all of that is designed out. And then we install it. We come into the dealership with our team and we install the products. We start training on our processes. We're going to monitor the team. We have district managers who are in the stores after we leave at the initial install. They're in the store every week, following up, making sure that everybody's on board. And then we're giving feedback and support. And then finally, what makes this completely different is we're actually communicating everything we're doing. We have dealer reports that before we come in, we have an agenda. We're coming into your dealership. We're actually coming to do work, right? We're not going to hang out, have donuts, okay? We're coming in. The owner knows. You've been there, Chris.
Yeah.
The owner knows what we're going to do that day, who we're going to talk to. We tell them beforehand. Then when we get there, we let them know we're there. Our team comes in, we do our job, and then we're going to report back to the dealer. This is what we got done today. These are the things that came out of it, some new tasks that need to get done before we come back the next time. And this is how your team's responding and how things are going. That happens every single time we are in a dealership. So that way, if something needs to be modified, we catch it very quickly. If something's not working, we can make a change. So that is really what the first 90 days say, look, of us in that dealership, making sure that things are working and making any adjustments that we need to, and then communicating it.
I like that because it's very execution focused,
Yes.
as far as having a plan. I mean, we can talk about change all day long or improvements all day long, but if you're not doing the implementation or the tasks, as you mentioned, and following up on those and making sure that they're implemented, what's the point, right? I mean, it's really to see that turnaround with specific action points.
Right, exactly. And when we come in and we do our initial install with the dealership, we're going to set up KPIs or goals for our business managers, right? So we generally set up 5 KPIs for our business managers, and then those are communicated to our training department. And each one of our business managers in the dealerships is assigned to a specific training manager at Vision Management. And we're very fortunate that we have just hired Kentra Brown, who comes to us from an RV dealership, and she was one of our top producing business managers back in the day. And so she's very familiar with the RV space. And so she works really diligently with the business managers to achieve those KPIs.
Yeah.
But then when we leave that kickoff, we have had our regional vice president has been there, the district manager, Kim and I, the training department. So when we leave, that business manager or that general manager or dealer principal has a very deep bench of people that they can call specific to whatever issue or problem or worry that they're having. They have a whole team of people that they can call. It's not just one person.
Nice.
I'm curious about culture. I think that gets talked about a lot nowadays, but it's more than just a buzzword. So if you ladies could talk a little more about what role does culture play in dealership performance, and how does Vision help build a culture?
That's a great question. So Tony Fiorillo, our owner, operates Vision Management on 6 core principles, and that's how all of our decisions are made within our company. And we're all very familiar with them. We talk about them on a weekly basis. So he wanted to implement that and find a way to implement that in our dealerships. So he partnered with Ryan Giles, and we have a business operating system for the dealerships, and it's called Overdrive. So Overdrive comes in, and it's a structured framework of processes, tools, leadership disciplines designed to align a company's team. We're going to track performance and consistently drive towards a 1 and a 3 year goal. So many times in an RV dealership, RV dealers focus on a 1-year budget, right? And that's how they run their dealership. We have to meet our monthly goals, which in turn will get us to our annual goal. And that's great. And everybody should have that. But when was the last time they stopped to look at a future 1-year goal, a 3-year goal, or a 5-year goal? So in
Right.
3 years, where does the dealer want to be? Does he want to have another store? Does he want to be retired? Does he want to have another service building? So those are all goals that, working with the business operating system, it can help deliver those goals. And then we're going to break it down into 90-day increments, and we're going to have rocks, and we're going to look at those rocks every 90 days. And what this does is it helps align from the top down. So everybody in the company knows what the dealer's hopes and dreams are, and what their plans are, and how everybody plays a part in that. And so then we implement that into, weekly tactical meetings with an agenda. We've all sat in a lot of meetings where you leave the meeting and you're like, I don't know what we just did. I just spent 3 hours. I don't know what just happened.
No, never happened.
Right. So let's only make it 90 minutes. Let's not go over that 90-minute mark. And then let's have an agenda. Let's talk about a scorecard. Let's talk about our rocks. Let's talk about our to-dos and issues, and bring it up every week and hold each other accountable and make it a safe place. Right. So working together as a team and everybody knowing those goals, it really helps to drive the culture, because everybody feels like they're part of the team, right? And everybody's working towards that common goal. So that's part of the culture that we bring into the dealerships.
That's fantastic. I mean, I feel like I've been a part of several companies, and I always feel like those that are invested in the training process and transparency of where we're going, it builds that culture. It builds an investment into what we're doing as a company, feeling like the employee, even though I may be a new hire or somebody who hasn't been there very long, or I'm not part of upper management, that I have a role to play in the day-to-day and help meet that. That's pretty cool. Just curious, we originally met at the RV dealer convention, which is always that second week in November. This year it'll be out at the Paris and Las Vegas again. Now, if you attend that, there are a number of companies that offer training and consulting. How does Vision Management Group differ from some of those other companies?
Well, I think your very traditional model, you just talked about RVDA. So your employees come to RVDA, they go sit through, I don't know, 6 or 7 different trainings, and they take in all this information in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Then it's the employee's job to bring that back to the dealership and try to employ what they learned at these trainings. And they happen once a year with RVDA. Maybe the dealer sends them to an F&I training outside of the office once a year. Where Vision, we bring the training to you, right? So we are going to make sure that you have a full bench to train you. You have a full team here that we all have different expertise that we can bring to the table. But then we have one-on-one solo sessions. So they're going to sit down with, whether it's Kentra or whether it's in the fixed ops team, with service advisors, your business managers, your sales people. They're going to be able to sit down with a trainer one-on-one, whether that's once a week, a couple times a month, whatever is needed for that employee. And each one of them is going to have a custom training plan. So the trainer is going to be looking at their KPIs, and before they get on a training call, they're going to see where we're struggling, where we need to improve, whether our VSC penetration is super low. How do we get better with that? How do I build a better commercial when I'm presenting to the customer? They have access to that one-on-one training whenever they need it. And then we report that back. We let management know where their employees are at and what we need to work on and where the struggles might be. And so that's where it's different, because we are constantly training and getting better. I think one thing of Vision we always say is, let's get 1% better every day. Well, you can't do that if you only go to training once a year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I like that because it reminds me, I'm a sports guy, so you can see, from my background, I got sports stuff behind me. But um, the thing I like about it, it kind of reminds me of a coach, right? So you can have a coach who says, you guys got to fit into my system. This is the system that I run, whether you're talking basketball or football, or this is the way I do it. Where from what you're describing, it's looking at, hey, here's the team itself. Here's this specific dealership. Let's take what they do, improve upon it, check in with them, stay consistent with them, and maximize it with their own sort of individual business plan. Am I reading that right?
We do
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, absolutely. And the extra piece that makes us stand out, I think, also is that we don't just do this in finance, we do it in fixed ops. So
Hmm.
Jerry Weldon is our fixed ops director, and he's going to go back and he's going to do in fixed ops what our sales team is doing in finance. So he's going to work with the service writers, and they're going to have one-on-one uh, training sessions. And again, they're all done virtually, so they can do them weekly, bi-weekly, as many times a month as they need. And they're also going to have KPIs set up in the fixed ops side too. So we're looking at both sides of it.
Awesome.
Well, ladies, you and your team spend a lot of time at different dealerships across the country. So I'm curious, where do you think dealerships lose the most opportunity?
Hmm.
I think that the dealerships really do a great job in their variable and fixed as far as sales, right? We have some processes that we can help refine, but I think that really where the dealer principals sometimes they lose sight of things is when they have a reinsurance company. And a lot of our dealers that we've gone into have a reinsurance company, right?
Hmm.
But that company isn't getting managed the way that perhaps it was proposed to them when they opened it. So with a reinsurance company, you're taking your VSCs, right? And you put money into an A account, and that's the money that's used to pay the claims for your service contracts. But typically what we're seeing in some of our accounts is that money is staying in that A account and it's staying in a money market account where technically you can have 80% in fixed and 20% in equity. So that can make you more money in that A account that you use to pay those claims. And then once the premiums are earned out, it can be transferred over into a surplus account. Now that surplus account, you can invest that how you see fit. You can work with whomever you want to invest that money. And some of the companies that we have gone into, some of the dealerships, every month a dealer should be looking at his session statement for his reinsurance company. Some of our dealers have never seen a session statement for whatever reason. They've set this company up. It's maybe 3 years, 5 years, 6 years old, and they've never transferred any money from that A account, but they have plenty of funds that have earned out. So what we want to do is we want to get that look at that session statement, and if they have the opportunity to sweep into a surplus account, we want to make sure that they're working with a reputable finance institution that's going to help them invest that as they see fit. You can be as conservative or risk adverse as you would like to be. We work with YS Asset Management, and they do a great job with our dealers on answering questions. Reinsurance companies can be confusing sometimes to dealers when you're new to it. They do a great job answering the questions and making sure that the funds are getting swept into that surplus account, so the dealer is maximizing the monies, and he can choose what he wants to do with that money. He can leave it sit there and invest, or if they would like to take a withdrawal, the dealer can consult with YS Asset Management, and they will help them do that however it is, best fits the dealer's needs. So really that we like to go in and really review that with the dealers and get YSA involved. And we've had a lot of success referring dealers.
To wrap up, how can folks get in touch and get a consultation or conversation going with VMG?
I think the best thing would be is you can reach out to Amy or myself. We both work in the RV sector of this vision. We can both set up meetings and we will both attend those. We do this as a team. We work together. So you're getting both of us, and we can start an analysis. If you'd like to get an analysis set up, if you just want to learn more about what we do, just give us a call or you can email us and we can take it from there.
Sounds good. Well, we'll get that information, Michael. I'm going to go like this with my finger. So
Okay.
in the magic editing world, you can put their email addresses right below that. Looks silly like I'm doing it right now, but hopefully we make that happen. Kim and Amy, thank you so much for taking some time with us today to talk about Vision Management Group and how you can help dealerships. And thank you to everyone for listening to the Supply Side podcast.
Thank you for having us.